Throw this out, Bobby,
Okay,
and bring me the new one, please.
this is the new one.
No, that's the new
That's
one.
the new one? Okay, you're right, she just came in with it. You're right. Last time we had a chat, you briefly talked about your time in the Army, but I remember you had some other stories that you shared about honey pots and what the honey pots were and
Honey pots, that's where they crapped.
yeah, that's what the Japanese craft. They called it honey pots. Oh, is that just what the Americans called it as
And you had
as
to
a joke?
had to take your shoes off before you went in the house.
They still do that today. What about you? I remember you had you had a little camera from Japan,
Yeah,
and you took pictures of sumo wrestling.
yeah, those were obsolete though.
But you enjoyed going. You went to see the sumo wrestlers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have pictures of that.
And what about when you went on some excursions? Didn't you go on a trip near Mount Fuji?
Yeah, we went to I climbed Mount Fujiyama.
Say it again.
I climbed Mount Fujiyama.
Yeah.
Me and a couple other guys, we went to a hotel, took a train, went to the town of Fujiyama, and then we climbed. We went up, I think, halfway.
There was a trail.
Yeah, we went halfway.
They had little stops on the way.
Yeah, I have a picture where there's a sign. It says how many feet, like 5,000 feet,
Above sea level or something?
whatever.
Yeah. That must have been a lot of fun. Is there still snow on the, there's always snow on the
Yeah.
top, right? It must be because it's really cold up there. So what about your, you were only 18 when you were there, something like that?
18, 19. And you went horseback riding.
And this was the first time you were away from home, right?
Yeah,
So was it a really good opportunity to have you know a wild sex life in Japan?
no, not really.
Did you?
No,
Is that when you first started meeting women, or were you doing that before you went in the army?
no, not at all.
What about? Didn't you say you had a relationship with a Japanese girl?
Yeah, well, they were all hookers.
Oh, you mean they did it? They were just like they had to do it because there was poverty.
Yeah, they had nothing else to do. Neither did we.
Right. And
To them, it was like a flag. That led them to say that they screwed a soldier.
you mean it was like an honor? But they did it for the money, though, right?
Well, but we didn't pay him.
The time you were there, what was it like as far as your experience working at the hotel, at the Meiji Hotel?
It was great. I had good duty. I worked every other night. And every day I slept. And every other night I worked.
Hmm.
So it was a good duty.
So you didn't really, you mean you had a lot of leisure time?
And I worked with an interpreter. Kenju, his name was.
Kenju?
Kenju.
That's funny.
Kenjo.
And he spoke English,
Yeah.
obviously.
Very nice, good-looking guy.
And he was your,
He'd open up his tin and he'd have he'd have a potato in there and some seaweed.
oh,
That's what he ate.
ah. Now, why was the Japanese involved? So they had Japanese that were cooperating?
Yeah, we were occupying. He was He
So
was my
they-
interpreter.
So they had Japanese. Did you learn to, and did you use chopsticks a lot?
Not that often.
You weren't,
It's difficult.
it wasn't like everybody you had regular food, pancakes, French toast.
Yeah, I was afraid to go upstairs to the second floor where they kept the USO girls. I was afraid they'd get caught. They'd catch me off limits, and then I'd do company duty. But I had opportunities to go upstairs to the second floor and get laid, but I was always afraid to do it.
Oh, you were, it was off limits to you?
Yeah.
Because that was just where the women were?
Yeah,
And they were all separated?
yeah,
What were they, entertainers?
yeah.
Was it like the movie where the three of them sing, the Bugle Boy Company B?
Yeah, whatever. But they all came in for R&R.
The women that were they were entertainers, were they actually enlisted?
Whatever, I don't know what they did, I don't remember.
No.
I know they were pretty, you saw some pictures of them.
Right.
And I was afraid to go upstairs. I could have gone upstairs, but I was afraid I'd get caught. And I'd end up doing, go to prison or go to company punishment.
So there was
Off
no
duty.
man upstairs?
Company punishment.
So there
Off
was
duty.
no man upstairs?
Off duty is off duty. Off limits is off limits.
So,
I could have gotten away with it for a quick fuck. I was afraid.
yeah. You mean there were just women upstairs, there were no men upstairs? They were separated? They didn't have meals with men?
And then I remember I found a fly walk. We had a big theater there. I found a fly walk that looked right into the ladies' shower room.
Oh, yeah. From above?
Yeah,
So did you go up there?
yeah, and I introduced a lot of the guys to that.
So you actually could go up there and spy on them while they were showering?
Yeah,
And you saw them?
Yeah.
And you saw them?
yeah,
And they never noticed you?
no,
Did you need binoculars? No? So that was like a big thrill, huh?
yeah.
Did you charge admission for them to do that? That's funny. See, you're remembering all these details of things you did. So, when you left Japan, you went back on a boat again?
Yeah,
Back and
they
forth?
took me back by boat. Frederick Funston. 9 days on that boat.
Hmm.
We ended up in Seattle, and in Seattle I took a train, went to Chicago, stayed with a friend of mine in Chicago, and then we went home to New York.
That's a long time on a big ship like that.
Yeah, 9 days.
Hmm. It was a big cargo ship.
Big troop ship.
Yeah. Not a military ship, right? Not a battleship.
No, it's a troop ship.
Transporter. Yeah. Well, do you think things were a lot different back in those days than they are today?
Of course. They didn't have cell phones, they didn't have TV, they didn't have a lot of things that we have now.
Seems like things were a lot simpler back then.
As things progress, as industry catches up with you, things get simpler.
And back in those days, wasn't life like easier for people? Like if you were an American, was it easy to have like an easy life? Was it less
Yeah, well,
expensive?
You know, if we wanted to go into town, we ordered a rickshaw.
Oh, in Japan.
Yeah, my buddy and I, we ordered a rickshaw. And we pull up in front of the hotel, and we get in the rickshaw, and they take us to the center of the city.
Right. That didn't cost a lot.
Whatever it cost. Little guy with skinny legs running in front of you.
He was like somebody he was still acting like he was out of like medieval Japan, like running manual labor, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's how they got around then.
did he wear one of those funny hats?
They wore like diapers.
Yeah, like still like they wore like in medieval Japan, right? Like he was like out of the history, the way he was behaving.
I have pictures of that.
Yeah,
I'll show you next time my scrapbook.
yeah.
Wherever it is, you took it down from the closet.
Right, right. I remember looking through the book, Dad. I remember. And the
Book
cur-
is 60 years old, that book.
yeah. And did you ever go for entertainment? Did you see any?
No, but
Japanese.
I entertained though.
What were you actually doing?
When we got to Seattle, I joined the group that entertained the troops, and we did a variety show, which everybody loved, and they wanted to sign me up to go on tour with them. I was too anxious to go home now.
And you mean that was at the end of your
Yeah.
your stay?
Yeah,
That you and some other people put together a performing?
not me, somebody else
Uh-huh.
put together a group. They wanted me to sign on, and
Mm-hmm. You mean like to perform on the road?
yeah, I didn't want any part of that. Part of that.
But you ended up doing that in the when you came home, when you went back to
Yeah, Miami.
and the Catskills, you said.
Yeah, Catskills, Miami.
But that was after the Army, right? So you still had that you had that still in your system.
Oh yeah,
You did that after the Army when you were up at the Catskills.
yeah.
And that's when you were
Then I went to college.
right. And what do you think is something that you I mean, you enjoyed doing your performing. That was your favorite thing.
I like the sound of applause.
Right. That was your biggest satisfaction, is getting that, right? Is being.
I didn't realize though that I would have been better off behind the camera instead of in front of it. Would have been a big shot already. Could have been retired after 30 years.
So that's something that still bothers you. You think it's still something you think about.
I remember when I was working for ABC, I bumped into somebody in the hallway. Somebody I went to school with. Joe Bernstein. You know, how you doing? What are you doing? He said, I'm a radio director.
Oh.
And I was just cutting up film in the back.
Oh, because he was already there. Maybe he didn't go to the Army.
Whatever he did, he didn't do whatever he did. And then they offered me a job at CBS on a swing shift. But I found out that the big boss over there was another guy that I went to school with, who was the big boss. I couldn't work for him.
Because what? Because you knew him from school?
Yeah.
So that bothered you, huh?
What's next for stocks?
Oh, so it bothered you that they were already advanced and you were at the same, you were the same age.
No, I was a little older, don't forget.
Mm-hmm. So what is it? Why do you think being a celebrity was such a big part of your
It's in your blood,
your
Bobby.
life, that you wanted to be a celebrity?
It's in your blood. It's something that you want to do. So what's the point in talking about it? Just in your blood.
Yeah.
Since I was a little guy, I wanted to be like Shirley Temple.
Just because you saw the you know that, and you wanted to be like that.
Yeah. She's my age, by the way. She's 86.
And like you said, your sister was not that into it, but
She
she's
had,
the one
she
that
had talent.
she didn't have as much the
She had,
talent.
she
that
had no talent. But they gave her the lessons.
Yeah. So that's because she was older.
Whatever. She's a female, you know, they pushed her. They gave her the female things. Ballet lessons, ice skating lessons.
Right. Well, do you think it was more? Was it discouraged for people's children to go into show business in your opinion, or was it mostly frowned upon, or how many parents would encourage people to do that?
Depends upon the talent.
I mean, from a Jewish middle class family, was it something that most people
A
would
lot
say?
of people did well.
Came
From Jewish middle class families.
Yeah, I mean, all the people.
All the people around me, my age, did very well.
Well, like they were from like
Long Island.
Borscht Belt, or
Yeah,
you
they
know,
all did
all
well.
the Jewish
They did well.
theater. Yeah, yeah. Well, but I guess they weren't discouraged to do it, and said, you know, their parents didn't tell them to do something else.
They all did well.
Yeah.
Open it for me, please.
They weren't told to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an accountant. There are two pieces in here.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Boy, it's heavy.
That'll give you some calories. Well, anyway, you did different things, and
Many different things.
you made a living. You weren't, you know, you had a family. It's not like it didn't really. It's not like your life was so terrible. It's just that you thought it would have been more exciting for you. You liked the glamour and the excitement. You didn't want to work or just a regular job.
I never had a regular job.
You never wanted to be like a 9-to-5 job guy, a business. You
No,
didn't
no.
want to work in an office or.
Never had a 9-to-5 job until I moved to Florida.
What was that? What were you? That was when you did the liquor salesman. Was that a 9-to-5 job?
Well, before that, I was selling. Went to work in a haberdashery store.
Men's clothing store.
And I moved in with my sister.
And was that in Miami?
Oh, was so proud of me. Yeah.
Her husband was. Why? Because he was in that business. Why were you working in the same company? Same felt like you could relate to each other. He could relate to you because you were doing the same thing. But it was never something you were crazy about. It wasn't exciting. Why would it be exciting to just have a regular job, right?
Well, I like real estate.
Yeah. You enjoyed that because there was good money in it?
I should have, when I had my broker's license, I should have gone after industrial real estate. Could have made a lot of money. But I had to make a living.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you would thought maybe if you had expanded your business from recreational real estate to some other type of real
Right.
estate. Yeah, that's just something else you did.
Sell a $10 million building for 3%.
Right. Right, that's right. That's big missions in that. Yeah.
For 10%.
Mm-hmm.
6%.
Yeah, well, you didn't do that. You did recreational up in the mountains.
That was demeaning.
You didn't get into the other stuff.
That was demeaning.
Well, you got your broker's license. So you did you were a real estate salesman, a real estate broker, and then then you became a commodity broker.
Yep.
You got, and it was hard to pass that test.
It sure was.
I mean,
Had to take it twice.
Licensed commodity broker on Wall Street. That's a very complicated stuff to know that, to know all about that. That's hard stuff to learn, to exam.
I didn't pursue it. I should have pursued that too.
Well, so you did it, and then you did it for how many years?
I don't know, 5.
Well, you did that, and that served its purpose. As time went on, you lost interest in it. You know, but you did a lot of different things that you were good at, all sales related. You turned all of your personality into sales. And that's where the big money is, right?
Never made the big money though.
Yeah. But it turned out okay. Everything turned out for the best.
Well, it turned out all right because of you.
You mean you feel like it turned out okay because your children turned out okay?
Yeah, because you listened to me, you got a good job, got a 401k.
I followed your advice. Yeah. I just stuck with the same company, so I didn't have to be a rocket scientist. I kept it simple, right? I said, okay, I'll be smart. I won't rock the boat. I'll be conservative. I'll be lucky to get into this business, and I'll just not screw it up. So that was it. That's what the advice I took. I was happy that it worked out.
Next year it'll be Old Rain.
Oh, yeah. But I think, if you think about how everything worked out, beyond your job, you could feel good about the way your children turned out. You feel good that you have nice
Wonderful children.
grandchildren.
Wonderful children, wonderful grandchildren.
They're all smart. They're all going to do good things. So it could be a lot worse with their life. Not everybody is fortunate. They might be very successful and they could have really lousy kids. What about people like that? They have kids. They could be really rich and then they could have kids that are drug addicts or
Right.
bums. They don't always do. Sometimes you can be very successful and your children are not. So you can think of it that way. And your children love you and respect you. So what difference does it make?